My name's Ben, I'm an Occupational Therapy Apprentice at Witherslack Group, and today I want to share with you some practical tips and advice on how to support better sleep for neurodivergent children. So most children can find sleep difficult, but for neurodivergent children it can be even more complex. But with some minor changes to routine and environment, hopefully we can make a big difference. We all know how it feels to have a bad night's sleep. Often the next day we feel distracted, low on energy and find it difficult to regulate our emotions. But for children, a good night's sleep is even more important. A good night's sleep can help them learn, can help them focus and can help them regulate their emotions more easier. Neurodivergent children can experience sleep difficulties for a number of different reasons. It could be due to sensory sensitivities, so being sensitive to certain noises or lights or textures which might make it hard for them to relax. It could be due to melatonin production difficulties or body regulation difficulties, which might make it hard for the body to realise that it's time for sleep. Or it could be due to anxieties or worries or an overactive mind, which might make it hard for them to switch off. Irregular routines and medication can also play its part. But the first step to supporting our young children to have a better night's sleep is to begin to understand why it might be happening for them. So when addressing sleep difficulties, there's three key areas to look at. The first one is routine. So children thrive on routine. So we should aim to have a consistent bedtime and wake up time every night, even on weekends and on school holidays. Within this, we need to create a wind down window of at least an hour before that young person goes to bed. Within this hour, we'll look at supporting that young person to transition to bedtime. So we want to be dim the lights, encourage the young person to come off any devices or screens, and maybe engage them in a low stimulating activities such as reading a book together. This can help reduce any anxieties to the young person and help prepare their body ready for sleep. The next area we need to look at is the environment. So this might take a little bit of detective work, but we need to look at the environment and make sure that it's conducive to sleep for that young person. So we want to be looking at things like lighting, noise, and even what type of bedding they have. So for example, a young person might sleep better with blackout curtains, they might sleep better with a white noise machine, or some cozier bedding which might help them relax. Within the environment as well, we need to make sure that we're decluttering it and making sure that there's nothing that can distract that young person from going to sleep. So we need to be removing things such as any electronic devices or anything that that young person can choose to occupy themselves with instead of going to sleep. And then the last area we need to address is regulation. So a good night's sleep starts during the day. So make sure during the day the young person has plenty of opportunities to get natural light exposure, to get out and doing physical activity, and another evening coming away from screens. And then within our wind down window that we discussed before, we want to make sure that we're including some time for the young person to regulate their body. So this could be introducing things like regulation, relaxation and mindfulness. So building time for deep pressure activities such as using weighted equipment if your young person likes that, and also some mindful activities that can help the young person feel grounded and maybe ease some of them anxieties or worries that they might be having. So my final bit of advice is to keep expectations realistic. These changes might take time and might be gradual, but hopefully over time we can begin to see a big difference. So every child's sleep difficulties are unique, and again it might take a bit of detective work to find out what works best for your young person. So thank you for watching this video and I hope you found it useful.